On the world's largest aircraft carrier with 5,000 people aboard and more than 15,000 meals a day, a lot of waste is generated. But in the middle of the sea, there's no landfill to dump waste.
Right now, somewhere in the Pacific Ocean, 5,000 American sailors are creating enough trash to fill 6 dumpsters every single day. That's 3,000 pounds of waste floating on a piece of American steel the size of 4 football fields. But here's what'll blow your mind. Not one piece of that garbage can just be thrown overboard.
Every 24 hours, one U.S. Navy aircraft carrier, carrying more than 5,000 people, produces over 8,000 pounds of trash. Plastic, food waste, metal scraps, paper. It all piles up fast, and there's nowhere to throw it. No garbage trucks, no landfills, and no pickup zones. Just the open ocean, stretching for thousands of miles in every direction. Yet the ship must keep running, 24 hours a day. It's a floating city with its own power grid, water system, food network, and waste management crew. Down in the lowest decks, far from sunlight, sailors work in boiling hot metal rooms to process everything the ship throws away. They burn, crush, melt, and recycle, turning tons of waste into something manageable before the next day begins. Their job never stops, because the ship never stops. Without them, the entire carrier would drown in its own waste in less than a week. This isn't just hard work, it's engineering at sea, keeping an entire population alive and healthy in the middle of nowhere. Stay till the end, because you're about to see how aircraft carriers manage thousands of pounds of trash every single day with 5,000 souls on board and nowhere to hide it. A Nimitz-class aircraft carrier isn't just a warship, it's a city at sea. More than 5,000 sailors live, work, eat, and sleep on board. It has its own airport, power plant, hospital, shops, and even plumbing systems that stretch for miles through metal corridors. Every day, life aboard keeps moving. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But every meal, every repair, and every mission creates waste. Leftover food, metal shavings, plastic wrappers, used paper. Together, they add up to 6,000 to 8,000 pounds of trash every day. Add to that more than 410,000 gallons of wastewater, and you start to see the problem. There's no land, no dumpsters, and no garbage trucks in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. The crew can't just throw it overboard. That would pollute the sea they depend on. But they also can't let it pile up. It would fill entire passageways in days. Each day's waste could fill about 6 full dumpsters. So how does a ship that never stops sailing handle a mountain of trash with nowhere to take it? The answer doesn't start on deck. It starts deep below, in a tiny, sweating room, where temperatures can reach 120 degrees and sailors work beside roaring machines. Down there, the real cleanup crew keeps the floating city alive. Deep below the flight deck, past narrow stairs and metal doors, works a small team most people never see. It's called the Waste Management Department. Only 16 sailors handle the trash of more than 5,000 people. They call themselves raccoons. Their job never stops. They sort food, paper, metal, glass, plastic, and even hazardous waste all day and night. Each item must go in the right bin. One small mistake could break international laws that protect the ocean. The sorting never ends. As soon as one day's trash is done, another 6 dumpsters of garbage arrive. Inside their room, the heat is extreme. The temperature can reach 120 degrees Fahrenheit, even hotter than the engine rooms. There are no windows, no fans, and no praise. But without them, the ship would stop working in just a few days. Every clean meal, every safe deck, and every fresh hallway depends on this small crew doing their job right. It's hard, dirty, and unseen work, but the ship cannot live without it. And tomorrow, before the sun rises, another 6 dumpsters of chaos will come. The raccoons will be there, sorting, sweating, and keeping the ocean clean, one piece at a time. Every 24 hours, more than 4 tons of trash appear on the ship, like clockwork. That's about 6 full dumpsters of garbage every single day. The waste management team fights a daily battle against time, space, and smell. Food scraps and paper alone make up about 4,000 pounds. Metal cans, bolts, and parts add another 3,000 pounds. Every single piece must be crushed, bundled, or burned before the day ends. There's no extra room anywhere. Every hallway, closet, and corner of the carrier already has a purpose. If the trash isn't handled fast, it will start to pile up. And that's not just dirty, it's dangerous. Storage and sanitation are always in conflict. They must find ways to keep the ship clean without running out of space. Some of the trash barrels can weigh more than 300 pounds when full. It takes 2 sailors just to move one. The work is heavy, hot, and constant. And it's not just about cleaning, it's about keeping 5,000 people safe and healthy while the ship stays at sea. But where does all this trash go once it's sorted and crushed? The answer depends on one thing: where the carrier is floating in the ocean, because how they dispose of waste changes with every mile of water they sail through. On an aircraft carrier, every piece of trash follows strict rules. How the crew disposes of it depends entirely on their distance from land. The ocean itself sets the law. At 3 miles from shore, the team can grind and pulp food and paper waste until it becomes a soft mix that safely breaks down in seawater. At 12 miles, they burn other types of waste in special machines that reach over 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit. And at 25 miles, they can dump compressed metal sealed inside biodegradable sacks, which sink harmlessly to the ocean floor. Every step is planned, measured, and recorded. Even trash follows military precision. The waste management crew tracks the ship's location every hour, using maps, coordinates, and navigation data. One small mistake could mean a global law violation, something the Navy cannot risk. So every mile matters. For these sailors, freedom isn't measured in days or dollars. It's measured in nautical miles. They live by the rhythm of math and miles, always checking where they are before they throw away a single thing. It's a constant balance between mission speed and environmental law. Move too fast, and you cross a line. Move too slow, and the trash builds up. But there's one type of waste that no law ever allows them to touch, and it's the most dangerous of all. On the ship, plastic is the one material with zero tolerance. Every bottle, every wrapper, every small piece of plastic is a problem that can't go overboard. Ever. Unlike food or metal, plastic never breaks down in the ocean. Throwing it away would violate international law and harm marine life. So the waste crew must handle it differently. They use a machine called the CMHU, Compress Melt Unit. It heats, melts, and compresses all the plastic into flat round discs about 20 inches wide. Each disc is hard, black, and heavy, and smells like burned crayons. The crew calls them pucks. They make hundreds of them every month. Each one must be stored safely deep in the ship until they reach port. No ocean dumping, no shortcuts. But as the pucks pile up, space starts to disappear. Every new disc takes up more room. And on a ship where every inch counts, that's a serious issue. The crew must stay disciplined and organized. One mistake could turn order into chaos. Plastic doesn't bend or vanish. It just keeps coming, one wrapper at a time. By the end of the week, storage rooms are full, and the raccoons below deck start over again. They can manage trash. But what about the waste from 5,000 people? Because next comes the hardest job of all, sewage. Even the cleanest city at sea has to deal with sewage. On a carrier, that job belongs to the CHT system. It stands for collect, hold, and transfer. More than 5,000 toilets, showers, and sinks are all connected to one massive plumbing network. Every flush and drain goes into holding tanks deep inside the ship. From there, bioreactors and filters process about 410,000 gallons of wastewater every single day. That's enough to fill an Olympic-sized pool daily. The system uses bacteria and chemical filters to break down waste before it's released far out at sea. The result: the water leaving the ship is often cleaner than what flows out of many coastal cities. It's a complex system that must run perfectly. If the pumps fail or pressure drops, the entire carrier can shut down within hours. Thousands of people with no working toilets. That's a real emergency. Even maintenance is costly. In 2021, the USS Gerald R. Ford had to spend over $400,000 just to perform an acid flush to clear its pipes. Technology keeps the ship sanitary, but it also depends on the humans maintaining it around the clock. One blocked line can stop everything, but the Navy isn't stopping there. To go even further and make waste disappear almost instantly, it's now turning to plasma, the power of lightning itself. The Navy found a new way to destroy garbage with lightning. It's called PAWDS, short for Plasma Arc Waste Destruction System. This technology uses superheated plasma, reaching temperatures hotter than lightning, to vaporize trash completely. There's no smoke, no ash, and no toxic fumes. What's left is a tiny amount of clean gas that's safe to release. Only 4 PAWDS systems exist in the entire world, all used on U.S. aircraft carriers. Inside the machine, electric energy breaks apart molecules until solid trash turns into harmless vapor. It's like watching fire eat metal, except it's controlled by computers and powered only by electricity. No fuel, no flames, just science turned into salvation for the crew below deck. For sailors, this means less manual sorting, less heat, and far less smell. But the system is still experimental. Running plasma technology at sea is a risky challenge. One small glitch can shut down the process for days. Every part must handle extreme heat, constant vibration, and rough ocean movement. The Navy calls it a prototype, but it's already changing how ships handle waste. The pods unit runs quietly, burning through garbage faster than any human team could. Yet even this breakthrough has limits. Because no matter how advanced the machine, it can't outrun the clock of storage. Every day, the trash returns. In 2020, the USS Theodore Roosevelt spent 159 days at sea with no port stops. For more than 5 months, everything used on board had to stay on board. Every meal, every box, every broken part added to the pile. Steel barrels, each weighing about 300 pounds, filled one after another. The small waste crew worked non-stop to keep narrow passageways clear. Once a week, the ship received supplies through underway replenishment, food, mail, and fuel. But each delivery also meant more trash and less space. There was nowhere to send it. Too much stored waste became a fire and health risk. Too many transfers during heavy seas meant danger for the sailors on deck. Even one slip on a wet cable could cost a life. The team had to balance security against sanitation. They crushed, melted, and sealed everything to buy a few more days of room. The open ocean allowed no mistakes. Every pound of waste had to be tracked and handled with exact care. It was not just cleaning. It was survival logistics. Day after day, they fought a quiet war against time, weight, and space. And through every storm and shortage, the U.S. Navy chose the harder path. Keep the ocean clean. Zero pollution, no matter how long the mission lasted. Every year, the world's civilians dump over 8 million tons of plastic into the oceans. The U.S. Navy's total, 0. That's because every sailor is trained to follow strict maritime laws and environmental rules. Even in wartime, the Navy treats pollution as an enemy. The same sailors who prepare for combat also protect the planet. The waste crew studies ocean law and safety codes with the same focus used to train nuclear operators. They are soldiers, but also environmentalists in uniform. Every mission is a balance between power and planet. The Green War doesn't use weapons, it uses discipline. And yet, most of the heroes behind this effort remain nameless, working quietly below deck. Beneath the runway deck, 16 sailors work where no sunlight reaches. Their job is simple but vital: manage waste and keep 5,000 crew members safe from sickness. They don't fire weapons or fly jets, but without them, the mission stops. Their training often leads to environmental careers after service, managing recycling plants or waste systems on land. In truth, they protect the ocean more than any missile ever could. They fight a quiet war, respect versus recognition, invisibility versus impact. To prevent burnout, they rotate shifts and get psychological support like combat units do. So what keeps them doing it day after day in darkness and heat? Their motivation isn't orders, it's pride in protecting the sea that carries them. A warship doesn't just project power, it proves that discipline can also protect the planet. Even trash becomes a lesson in honor when handled with care and precision. Beneath the jets and missiles, human hands quietly guard the oceans of Earth. The city that floats never sleeps, because cleanliness is its first defense. 5,000 souls live, work, and breathe at sea, creating zero pollution in a closed world of steel. If they can do it there, why can't we on land? Every aircraft carrier mission carries two promises: to defend the nation and to protect the world it sails on. For the 5,000 sailors living aboard, keeping the ocean clean is not just duty, it's a daily act of respect. They prove that even in the heart of warfare, humans can live with discipline and balance. Waste management on a carrier isn't a small task or side job. It's the heartbeat of sustainability at sea, the system that allows a floating city to survive without harming the water beneath it. Every piece of trash, every drop of wastewater, every pound of plastic is handled with precision and care. They fight a different kind of war, one for the planet itself, and they win it every single day. Subscribe for more documentary stories that reveal the hidden systems keeping our world running. Would you endure that heat and hardship to keep an ocean clean?